Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And welcome back for our week 4 of Christmas in July. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this fun little series. I've done it for at least 3 years, if not longer. And it's always been a little bit different and a little bit fun. And so this year, like you know, I decided to do a live every week to create something featuring some of the online exclusive products from Stampin' Up! That are kind of holiday Christmas themed. And so if you remember correctly, I'm going to quickly show you what we did. Week 1, I did this single page layout, and it turned out super cute. And then week number 2, I did this one with the postage dies, also very cute. And this one is super versatile, like they both are. You could use them for endless different possibilities of different kinds of things. This one, though, is super versatile to use like those little tiny icons from that stamp set. And then last week we did a fun Z fold card, which is super hard to actually open backwards. I didn't even really think about that, but here it is, right? So that was fun too. And then this week I made everything kind of coincide and come together at the end. And I also released today my Seasons of Green and Gold scrapbooking workshop. So all the details are on my blog. I just actually added the link into the comments if you're interested. So it is this is a big one. It is 4 double page spreads, 8 scrapbooking pages, and it all uses the Season of Green and Gold collection from Stampin' Up!, which is one of the current online exclusives, right? And so with this live, I wanted to do something fun and kind of like bring it right back to that scrapbooking workshop. So what I decided to do was, one of the things in the scrapbooking workshop is there's 4 bonus SVG titles. So I actually created a 5th one, and I've taken some of the extra supplies from that scrapbooking workshop, some of the dies I used, some of the materials I used, and I've kind of put together a double page spread that I'm actually going to assemble today. And then they're going to get it. Anybody that purchases the workshop will get like an idea sheet with the sketch and my pictures. They're the same supply list, but I will add a supply list there as like another bonus. So they'll get the 4 SVG titles plus this bonus if they want to swap out or create this layout exactly how it is. So let's get started. I also have to say that Christmas in July always seems like a super awesome idea. And then I think this is the hottest Christmas in July I have ever had. It is like smoking outside. So I know not everybody would maybe feel like Christmas right now, because I'm sure that your weather might be very similar to ours, but we have to round this whole series out, right? So this is the last installment for Christmas in July. So just so you know. Okay, I'm going to add my desk in now. We're going to take a look at really quickly the projects from the last couple of weeks. The first 2 weeks are posted on my blog already, which is www.chrisscreativelife.com. So there is a blog post for week 1 and week 2, and I will be posting next week the 3rd installment of Christmas in July. And then I will also put up a blog post for the layout we're going to create today. So let's add in. There we go. Okay, so as you remember, this was the card from last week. We did a Z fold card as a request. The week before, I did a single page layout Just really cute. This little icon is like my favorite from that stamp set. And then, oh, this is sideways. But here is a look at week number 1 that had some little hidden journaling in it. Right there. So that was week 1. So like I said, I am going to create a 2-page spread. Let's just move this up. Of course, I was like adjusting my camera, and now I've kind of knocked everything off kilter, but hopefully it is not too bad. So like I said, I did add, let's turn on one more light. I did add cherry cobbler cardstock that is not part of the scrapbooking workshop, but this should be extra supplies that are left over from if you order the workshop. Yes, anybody, that is the beauty of the workshop guide. So like one of the ways to get the workshop guide is to make a purchase on my shopping website with Stampin' Up. So for every $40 somebody purchased, they get to pick a workshop guide. But because international people cannot order from my website, there is just a straight purchase section. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the blog post, you can see where you can purchase it. The video of my workshop is, I just posted it live to YouTube too, like the walkthrough. But the blog post is up and running. And like I said, this is going to be a bonus like idea sheet for a 5th layout. So I do have as my base, very vanilla. We're going to do 2 mirrored images of each other. So it should come together really quite quickly. And I just want to get the bases in so that we can then decorate them, because that's the fun part, right? So there's also like the full supply list on my blog, all of those fun things. Okay, so, but I did use, I'm just going to quickly talk about some of the things I used because you're going to see it here, right? So we've got the Season of Green and Gold paper. I have the gold foil paper, which I love. I used, because you'll see these today, also the Greetings of the Seasons dies and golden Greenery dies. I am not going to use these today, but the workshop does have a little bit of stamping. There are a couple of suggestions if you don't want to stamp. There are some extra pieces that you can use, the like fussy cut or die cut, but I did use the golden Greenery stamp set. And then for embellishments, we have the Essentials Baker's Twine, and I did use pecan pie ribbon. So, and oh, and these, because I thought they were so cute. So those, the little clear pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive-backed dots. So they're very pretty in real life. It is super hard to actually, you're not going to be able to see in the camera, but they have just little bits of silver that run through them. They're very pretty. So like I said, this will be a bonus download that will probably, I'm hoping to have it ready next week. But so let's get started here. And I've got a couple of very skinny strips that I'm going to add to the top and the bottom of each page. And so I'm just using my silicone mat there so we don't get adhesive all over everything. Okay, so we're going to do one at the top, or that's the bottom actually, but we'll do one at the top also. And like I said, if you wanted to see the photos and such of the workshop, they all are posted on my blog. But I have to say, I love the way they all turned out. So we're going to do this on both sides. So I've never actually done this concept of like the bonus layout, but we'll see how this goes, and potentially you could see more of them in the future. So okay, so that was what I was thinking. We're going to do that little skinny line at the top and bottom. And don't forget, if you do comment, sometimes they don't come through depending on where they're coming through from, like if it's one of the groups versus my actual page, and etc. But if I don't answer your question, don't worry, I will come back and answer it after. Sometimes it's just there is a big delay, and then also sometimes it just I don't get to see everything. You gotta love that. Okay, so now we're gonna add some of this gold foil paper. Like I said, I was very excited to try this gold foil paper because I did always love the gold foil from Stampin' Up. And I really actually quite like it. Okay, and then, so I'm just going to start down here and I'm going to work my way up. And so the next piece I have is this really pretty gold star. And then we're going to use this one with the pretty floral, and on the back it's got a really pretty gold like diamond. There's a fun little, as part of the workshop, there is like a optional technique using the enamel, gold enamel effects. Couldn't think of the third word that was there. Okay, we're out of adhesive, of course. So okay. So now I'm going to make this one exactly the same on the other side. So here we go. So these are not the same size because I wanted a little bit heavier weight at the top so that when I add my title, you'll be able to see it. And so the title for this one I do have is a little bit, so like I said, the only thing that I did add for doing this layout was I did add cherry cobbler cardstock. So just because I wanted to add a little bit more color to this one. So that's the only addition that I made for this layout. So anybody that's already ordered will get actually an email with like the downloadable PDF with the sketch, etc. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure my 2 pages line up, and I need to adjust it just slightly because they do not. There we go. I really like this one too. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like clover or just like ivy. But I really liked this too. I almost actually did that as the main section here. And you could actually totally flip it out so that that would be the main section here. Like that's the nice part about like when they get this as like the downloadable sketch. If they wanted to use different paper, they totally can. I don't think I'll need that anymore. Let's just make sure we line up. There we go. So yeah, and then you could obviously use it with different collections or just obviously this one's going to say holiday cheer. So you might not want to use that with like a summary paper, but you could totally use the sketch design again by just swapping it out. Okay, guys, that's the second tape runner that we have finished. So if we finish this one, I have to then go to my drawer and pull out more because I don't have any more sitting on my desk. Too funny. Okay, so like I said, I did a 5th SVG title, and this one just says Holiday Cheer. So my thought is I'm going to put it up there. Then I have to decide if I'm going to use this one or this one over here. But so I do have a bunch, and then we have like some greenery here. And I do have the option of adding another tag up there. And then the vellum that matches this is stunning. So I think I'm going to use the vellum over here. And then I have a couple more pieces. Just one from pattern paper and then one from Old Olive. And I think I'm going to put them like up here like that. Okay, and then the photo placement I have is like this. So here we go. There's a lot of photos on this layout, which is awesome. So down here, I have another one. These are 4x3s, and they're double matted, these ones. Oh, thank you. And then I did use the Baker's Twine embellishing thread to wrap around my photos. You can do that or not do that. And I don't have a problem tucking my photos in after. This is going to be our journaling box, and I just made it to match the photographs. And then I think we're going like this, like this. So these are opposites. And then I cut a cherry cobbler tag up here, and we're going to do the tag the same as the ones from the scrapbooking workshop already. Okay, and then I have some embellishments that I'm going to put down here. So you can see I've got like my visual triangle going on here, and I just need to actually pull everything together. So I'm actually going to really quickly adhere my photos first, and then we'll add the embellishments. So I'm actually going to start up here with this one because this is the one that has, with the title, I want to be able to place everything in there. So So I've got one 4x4, and then I'm going to do 4x4 right underneath it. And 4x4s are super easy crop off of a 4x6 photograph. And like I said, these are double matted. So they do have Mossy Meadow and then a very skinny border of black. And I did that to tie in the baker's twine. But if you didn't want to add that layer, you wouldn't have to add the skinny black layer. I just thought that it added so that the photographs would pop off the page a little bit too. Because they're like the background is quite dark, even though there's all that gold, there's also lots of the Mossy Meadow in the background. There we go. Okay. So like I said, I find it easiest because for me, the photographs are obviously the most important part, right? So I want to get those on first and everything gets spaced properly. So I'm just doing the two sides at the same level. Some nice spacing between them. There we go. Okay, and last photo, and then we get to have some fun and actually decorate. Okay. This is going down here. That's going up here. Like I said, I love the way the gold foil paper cuts and looks. So I just had to move my mouse out of the way. I'm just trying to bring this down so you guys can actually see what I've got going on. So I think we're going to use this one. And I'm going to do it almost right to the edge there. And it has this like really pretty mottled Mossy Meadow and old olive on the back. Okay, so I am going to just add some adhesive to these pretty pieces of greenery. So, and I kind of want them, this bottom part's going to get covered up. So I want them kind of just like peeking out the top. Now I'm not going to crush them down just yet. So that is what I'm thinking. Okay, so then we're not going to use this one, which is fine. I've got my little jar of fun little things that I have still available. Okay, so I'm going to add these two this way underneath, framing that title. Just going to tuck them under there. Kind of like this. Okay, and I did, so there's 3 layers here. So there's the gold foil paper, then there's cherry cobbler, and then I put that piece on like dimensionals. So to add a little bit more dimension there. So I don't then have to add like dimension on my title, right? I can just adhere that straight down. So like right here, because I still have this piece that I'm going to tuck underneath there, the vellum. And I can add my adhesive all on this side and you won't actually see any of it because I'm just going to tuck it underneath my title. So it will run this way. And if I had to, I could actually tack it down with a couple glue dots, but I don't actually think I'm going to have to. And then we will add some, okay, so let's add some ribbon onto this tag here. So I did use the pecan pie ribbon. So we're just going to tuck that through our hole. Just like that. And then I'm just going to use some baker's twine and tie it so that it stands up. And then if I need to trim it, I can. And so the same thing is reflected right on the layouts of the scrapbooking workshop too. I could tie this in a little bow if I left myself enough. I wasn't actually planning on that. No, I think I'm just going to fray it like on the photographs, right? So the same thing, I just wrapped the twine around and tied it, and then I just took my take your pick tool and pulled the threads out, because it just adds like then one more texture, right? Okay, and then I have this, and I am going to, I think, just put a piece of twine, twine through here, and then when I want to add that tag, I can just string it up. But I want to put some stuff underneath it first. So, and if I don't end up doing that, right, I can just pull it right out. I could have actually done it before I tied everything together if I was thinking about it, but that's okay. Passing it through. There we go. Okay, so I think I am going to add some dimension. And so I want it to kind of sit up here like that. And then, so I have all the same pieces for each of the clusters if I want to add them. So let's get though, I'm going to add my little journaling box here. And I want it to be, like I said, this look the same as my photos. So I'm just going to add some lines on here. So grab my ruler, and I just have black pen. And I want to leave more space at the top. Yeah, I'll go about 3. And I leave a little bit of like a 1/8 inch border on each side. And then I'm just going down the lines to create my own journaling box here. Sorry, gotta concentrate or my lines will go all like crazy wonky. So I'm just kind of looking at the one above it. And I know that I'm going to have something overlapping on the bottom here, so I'm not going right to the bottom. I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch gap there because I have a little, yeah. Yeah. Let's just see here. Okay, yeah, I'm going to stop there. So I have this little tag that I'm going to add to the bottom. So I want to make sure that I have enough room there. So there we go. Okay, so this is coming together quite nicely. And I'm not going to pop this up on 3D foam because later I'm going to have to write on the box. And if it's popped up, it would make it more difficult. Okay, so this is, I'm leaving the bottom with no adhesive because I'm about to tuck a whole bunch of stuff underneath. So I want to be able to tuck it under. So I have, like I said, some of the same embellishments from the other cluster. And I'm going to tuck them in underneath here. And under my photo. Like that. This is going to go like right here. And I have just a little bow for up there. So this I am going to put on 3D foam. So here we go. Let's add our other little pieces in. Actually, I'm going like that with that one. And like that. And tuck this one in here. and add this across the bottom. And then, so I thought I could add like the date on the cherry cobbler, or the date, or a different one of the sentiments from the snap set. Okay, I'm just looking for my glue dots on my desk. Here we go. So I can add my little bow. There we go. Here, I'll move this over a little bit. So we're still going to add some dots in also. Okay. Then for up here, same pieces. I'm putting exactly the same pieces, or at least something similar in each of the sections here. So this is going to be way at the bottom, so nobody's going to see that they don't go all the way up to the top, right? Then I have the old olive piece. And I can just trim that one. And then the vellum piece. And trim that. And then adding my gold tag here. And I'm going to adhere it down so that it's where I want it. And it kind of ends up covering the tops of those branches. Okay, I'm going to pull these out. This whole collection, this whole suite, sorry, is beautiful. And like I said, I was in love with the way that the workshop turned out. So it is, and it is like stunning in real life. It's super hard to photograph things that have this gold foil on it. So some of the pictures look like very glared, but it's very pretty in real life. So all I need to do now is add a couple of gems, and then we are done. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I think on this one, I might use all clear ones. So there's two sizes. There's big and then little. So I'm just going to mix them into each of the clusters for a little bit of sparkle. So they kind of just catch the light. If I have to too, I can come back and like tuck in a glue dot every once in a while to tack down the vellum. And then kind of, you can't actually see that under there, especially with this vellum because it's kind of speckled. Like it almost looks like it's got a little bit of paint splatter. It's not paint splatter, but it looks like almost like snow effect on it. So I'll just sprinkle some of these into each of the clusters. It almost just makes it look like it's got glistening snow on it, really. Kind of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more. right here. And there we go. And now add some over here on this side, and we will be all done. There we go, guys. So I think it turned out super pretty. So it is simple, but very effective. And it also matches kind of the look of the other layouts, but it uses up some of the other extra pieces that if you create the, I'm going to put some more over here. If you, just to kind of, so you can see this a little bit better, just by adding some sparkle into it. So if anybody has any questions, as always, feel free to ask. And like I said, I will have all of the third week of Christmas in July will be up soon. And then I will add a blog post for this last week of Christmas in July. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this series and learned a few fun little things along the way. And I wish you all a very happy Christmas in July. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.